Welcome to QNW. This is Quarantine Network. I'm your host, OG. Got the bros, Monage Beast, aka Creative Mo.
Yes,
Got
sir.
Charlie Pockets in the building.
Hey,
welcome to episode 11. This week's episode, we're gonna talk about the recap of our first 10 episodes because we had 10 great guests. You know, we also did a video talking about the artist stage name, and you know, we got a lot of gems, a lot of free games, so much to offer, and then some. So
Yes, sir.
yeah,
It's been a nice ride. We did it. 10 episodes. We did it. And we're gonna have much more to come, definitely. But stay tuned till the end because we still have the bread and butter questions for y'all.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's been following us and been on this journey with us so far. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We are QNW on YouTube and Instagram, and check out our other videos on the channel. And we have some more great content on the way, so definitely stay tuned.
Absolutely. And with that being
also don't forget to check our Anchor account. If you don't have time to see the videos, you can enjoy your time doing other stuff and listening to our podcast on Anchor.
All 10 of our episodes are available on Spotify via podcast. You can listen to them any time of the day or night, wherever you are. You know, as you see, Mo is in France, Charlie's in Baltimore, and I'm in San Antonio. So there's no excuses, you know. With that being said, there we go.
I'm gonna leave you with this. I'll say this: if I fail, it's okay, but at least I failed trying, and I didn't fail to try. If that makes sense. Nothing is life guaranteed. I wish people would know that. Like, regardless, military or not, yes, it's a steady paycheck. Yes, you're gonna get paid. But let's say something happened. God forbid something happened to you. Your foot get blown off. You break a leg or something. You get an injury. You're getting checked out. So guess what? You got to be back in the civilian world again. You may have bought out, you get your disability though, but you don't get to retire. You don't get that pension. That's what you want if you want to make it a career. But see, people don't understand that nothing in life is guaranteed. I don't care what it is. I don't care how good you are. Nothing in life is guaranteed.
It was a couple weeks ago, Mo Pockets and I, we went live on QNW. Somebody verified hopped on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they hopping on? What somebody verified hopping on a live with less than 100 followers doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just doing our thing.
Exactly. They're curious, so they want to see what you got. You know.
Yeah.
They might say, "Hey, I'm gonna take a chance with this guy." You know, even if they're not commenting or engaging or liking, they're paying attention, whether you know it or not. Oh, trust me, somebody's watching. Somebody is always watching, regardless. Do they comment or they like or they say anything, or even they tune in, don't say nothing, they hop right back up. They paying attention.
Relationships are currency. Like, it's more valuable to have that than money. You know, like for me, I'm making my way in the real estate game, and what I'm seeing is like you can have like two people put in offers on the same house, and one of them might be like 10 grand less, but the relationship, you feel me? Like they might accept that lesser offer. So I mean, relationships is more important than pay to play. You know what I mean? People be like, "Oh, I gotta start my LLC this week," and it's like, fam, that's like 40 steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you break down into a smaller amount. You feel me? Do like 5 of those steps every day instead of trying to do like 28 things. And then guess what? You burned out. You're not passionate about it, or you're moving too fast and you're making all unnecessary mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So doing it that way allows to balance grace with pushing yourself, because now you're giving yourself the room to learn and ease into the responsibility that it's going to take to stay organized. There's no point getting all this set up and then you're only able to stay consistent for a week.
So I know you definitely believe the pen is mightier than the sword, huh?
I feel like the pen is the sword. I mean, if you think about it, what wars have we fought where it wasn't started with words? I mean, back in, you know what I'm saying? Like in the ancient times, they wasn't fighting face to face first. They were sending scrolls. They were sending notes. You know what I mean? So words is what starts wars, but they can end them too. So for sure. How long does it take? You know what I'm saying? You leave some food in the fridge and it's getting moldy. How long does it take from that little tiny little white fuzz? You know what I'm saying? The strawberries be molding too fast, and it just be pissing me off. Can their mugs be like $20? I'm like, family, like I just bought you today. You know what I'm saying? So from the time that you see that first little white little fuzzy to when it's covered in green, it's not that long. It's not that long. And think about how much it takes. Like, even if the strawberry's like in the corner, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't touching the rest, but throw the whole thing out. Yeah. So it's like the same thing is true with your day. You feel me? Exact same thing is true. If you just, if you let that negativity in, it's going to cover everything, just consume everything else. And it just clouds your perspective and such that you can't benefit anybody, not even yourself. So it's just like, yo, like, there's power and perspective for real.
What is the importance of having a team around you? And how has it benefited you?
Well, when I was doing So Deep, I was beat down. I was already going through a lot of stuff, but it was honestly like people would be like, hey, do you want me to talk to my friend to get them to like post your song? Or it'd be like people doing the simplest thing of like my close friend, like Jimmy, who helped out with the music video. He was like, hey, we gotta do something. Like, I'll help you out, whatever it is. He stepped in. My own partner, like, he pulled up and he was like, hey, babe, do you want me to like repost? I sent it to all my guys. Like, what do you want to do? It just be those simple things. Because a lot of the time it's a team of one. But really, it's those people that reach out and they're like, hey, I have a contact for you. Would you like to use them? It helps out so much.
Being an artist is like, it's a day that you're going to find everything. You're going to find the storm. You're going to find the heat. You're going to find everything. And watching your career growing since we met and having you on the phone saying, hey, Mo, I didn't forget you, but I have this commercial. Yeah, so this is the type of stuff that we have on that journey.
If you can use live instruments in your music, I think that's better than just, you know, going on the program, going on Logic, and you know what I mean? Like, if you can actually get the instrument played live, you know, like, I think that's, I don't know. It's just a whole nother, it's like another level. Like, you know, you're doing more than you know, you could easily skate by, you know, just making beats. But like when you introduce that live, you know, people might not pick up on it as easily, you know, and, you know, depending on, you know, if you know anything about program or producing or engineering. But yeah, it's just an added detail that I think, you know, brings something else to the song.
I like it when producers walk up to me and they're like, I actually like that. Then I know I did something right.
Right.
I know I did something right if the producer really messes with it. Because producers, I feel like everybody just, we make it a loop. Like, all right, okay, boop, here we go. But when you have something that catches a producer's ear, you know it's really good.
Being a musician as well, some days are better than others. But I feel like, you know, you gotta put your emotions out there sometimes, and you know, because that's what the people want to see. You know, people, you ain't always gonna be smiling. They ain't always gonna be sunshine and rainbows. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you've been handling that pretty well, Brianna. Like, you know, there's ups and there's downs in this music life. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you interpret things. You know what I'm saying? You can either look at the glass half empty, or you can look at the situation, or like you can look at the situation half empty, at the glass half empty or half full. You know what I'm saying?
I am always busy, but I love it. Like, it feels so good to be busy.
Man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing in itself.
Yeah, it is. And I'm great. I'm extremely grateful, man. I'm extremely grateful that people actually fuck with me too. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, like I never thought it would get to the point where I have, you know, a good amount of artists that really fuck with me. Even artists that, you know, I've listened to for a while now.
It's genuine, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not putting out a bad energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think of QNW, you know, for the guests that we've had on, you know what I'm saying, then bringing you on, like it's just a revolving circle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
This is what we do, you know what I'm saying? We bring on the big players out here, you know what I'm saying?
Shoot, being a dad, it's like pretty much the biggest part of my life because I mean my work is based from home, so I'm always with my kids, you know what I mean? Which is awesome. It's a blessing. You know, it's crazy because I really only am out there shooting like 10% of the time, and then the rest of the time I'm here. So, you know, it's really nice that I do get to spend a lot of time with my kids, but at the same time, you know, I have to break away from my projects a lot to go do, you know, daddy duties and stuff. But that forces me to take a break, which is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
that's
believe in
good.
the importance of balance, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
good.
You got to give a little, you got to take a little.
Sometimes you are trying like to finish something and you need like 5 minutes just to finish that. And you are listening, hey, Pop, I'm hungry. Hey, I'm thirsty. Hey. And you are like, okay. And you go take care of your stuff and then you go back and then you watch and, oh, what I was doing, shit, I have to start over again because I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot. Yeah, you lost your train of thought completely. Trust me, I know that completely, man.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, but sometimes I find that to like, you know, bring up some like new creative thoughts. Like even sometimes when like my computer will crash in the middle of like a project, you know, I'll be pissed in that moment. Like I'll just be so upset. But like when I actually get it set back up and start running back through it, I find that sometimes that second time around will be even better. You know what I mean?
How important is having that support factor to you?
Oh, it's critical. That's why I based kind of my whole creative process on collaboration, because I could do everything on my own, but it would not only overwhelm me, but it would also kind of take away from what the project could fully be. And I feel like when you combine with other people and get that support from different, you know, sides and aspects of people and different perspectives, what's the word for it? Like it can create a synergy, something kind of bigger than if you did it alone. And it's hard to like put into words because like, even if you try to plan it and script it, because there's so many different people involved, you can't really plan it and script it. And that's something that I think why collaboration doesn't happen a lot in music, because everyone's trying to get it to hit something specific rather than let it evolve naturally.
What you said, you know, about, you know, it's not always the best, you know, I feel like that type of music, you know, it's not necessarily meant for you to plug in your headphones or whatever. It's meant for you to be there at that time when they're playing it. You know, it's the whole thing about a music festival and the raves and stuff that's different about a regular concert. Well, it's similar to a regular concert in that it's just a whole different vibe that's almost undescribable unless you're there when it's happening, when it's taking place, you know? So, but yeah, I love that type of music myself. So
yeah, I like how you mentioned the aspect of being present and being there, because that is something that I try to strive for with the art. I don't want people to kind of see it as like a sea of, you know, one in a sea of similar stuff. I want people to be there and observe what's going on. Right. Like I tell people my informal mission statement is I'm here to bring cool people together to make cool shit. That's pretty much my
And that is a great mission statement. It's short, it's to the point, and it's something people can get behind. You know what I mean?
And it works.
Yeah.
Right. Like it gets things done. Like that's like where it all started was literally, I remember I was 16, we were in high school. All my homies wanted to rap and record. I had a laptop. And I was like, you know what? We could do this. Like I did a little research. I'm like, wait, there's a free recording program. Got me a $5 mic, got the homies together. We recorded a mixtape at our homies' crib.
QNW audio podcast available on Anchor. Follow us at We Are QNW.
When the creative vibe is there, I don't really fight it. But then when it's also not quite there, I don't really force it. I think a true artist will know they're an artist if people are talking about their music almost more than they are. You know, like if you gotta push this music to the point where you're blue in the face and you're begging people for compliments, music might not be for you. If people are hitting you up, even if you have a small little following, if people are hitting you up constantly, like, yo, I like what you did there, without you even bringing it up, that's when you know you might have a little bit of a gift.
So for me as a producer, if I get a call from somebody that I really want to work with, you know, God willing, if they ask for a beat, I can't just send them one beat, right? Because I might send them 2 beats and those 2 just isn't what they're looking for. But if I send them 10 beats, there's a good chance out of those 10, they're gonna like 1 or 2.
Send them a whole pack.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big like you were saying, Mo. Like I want it to be a one of one. I want you to know if you work with King Virtue, you're not going to hear that beat anywhere else on planet Earth. Just like if it was a piece of art and it was being drawn, every great artist out there, they're numbered, right? You know, you got number 2 of 25 or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I want it to be a one of one.
Even if you want to be on the same room with somebody, first you need to build a relationship.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't build that relationship, doesn't matter if you go to the studio with that person, because one's gonna start thinking, oh, he wants to know what I can do. Maybe he's gonna steal my beat, right? Or the other was gonna say, oh, maybe he's gonna listen my bars, and that's gonna give him some ideas. He's gonna flip the words, and somebody's gonna record it.
Right.
So if you don't have a relationship, if you don't build a relationship between artists, producers, beat makers, whatever, you're gonna waste your time in studio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do genuinely believe that the universe doesn't make mistakes, and I believe that when we move with intention, that we see the results that we want to see. But it was worth it. Like I said, it was worth it. I pride myself on trying to do things that are just a little unique. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody do anything like that in a 24-hour period, performing in 6 different locations. I wound up doing 40 songs. The goal was 39. I wound up doing 40 because I wound up getting 1 request, which pushed it to that 40 mark. But it was a lot of energy. So I know if I'm going to do it again, I know how to better prepare for it and what I need to make sure that sound is good. And, you know, when I'm streaming, that's I have a better camera for streaming now than using my laptop camera. I have my own studio monitors that I can bring if necessary. You know, all these different things. What's that piece of equipment that they was wilding out about early in Versus when they were still doing remote Versus and people sound fucked up? They was like, you need one of these? I forget what it's called. iRig. I got an iRig. I got the iRig for it, but I didn't spend enough time figuring out how to use it. And I also didn't have the external speakers to make it work. So that was a dub. But now I know how to use it. So it'll just be a much better situation if I do it again.
iRig, and what can you explain what that is?
Yeah. So if y'all remember or if you saw in the early stages of the Versus, they were having, when they were still doing remote, they were still having folks who were having sound issues, which sounds crazy because these are like multi-million, and in most cases, I'm sure I can safely assume that these are like successful multi-millionaire musicians, and you think that they'd have people in their corner that could just make sure that they have high quality sound, but it just wasn't happening. And so you get this piece, there's different versions of it, but you get this piece that allows you to maximize the sound that is coming through the stream when you're streaming performances. So like if I'm on a Zoom, I'm not using it now, but if I were on a Zoom and wanted to do a live performance, if I were on an IG, I could connect my phone to it, I could connect my laptop to it, and it just makes sure that it doesn't sound like shitty speaker
so it's
quality.
like,
shitty laptop quality when the people who are watching the stream are listening.
So when you're choosing your stage name, your alias, you know, what you want to go by in the in this music business, because that name is going to go with you forever, you know, however long you want to remain in the game for. So it's like you have to choose wisely, you know, and Mo and Pockets are going to talk about it as well, but like choosing wisely what your name is going to be. Thinking of the rapper Jay-Z, you know, Jay-Z, you know, obviously If you don't know what Jay's, what he's talking about, then you won't know. But his name is simple, but yet it's profound. It stands out. I want something easy for people to call me. They ain't got to call me all this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you want something that's unique to you, something that kind of represents you, but also you also have to think of always like the marketing side and the social media. You got to think of all that stuff down the road. So it's not just about, picking any name. It's really important to make sure you try and plan things out.
When you choose your stage name, you are the brand. So your stage name is going to be your brand. And with that, all your social medias need to be the same. Is related to all that is the website. Like you need to know that your domain is available in order to choose careful your stage name.
Right. Yeah, man. Pockets, you want to touch on the website?
Yeah. So when Mo mentioned domain name, he's talking about the web address. So if you're to start a website, www.zog.com, it's a website, but it's also called a domain name. And to register a domain name, there's different entities you can go through: GoDaddy, Squarespace. There's all kinds of places, but
Bandzoogle.
Important. Bandzoogle.
Yeah,
right.
Shout out to Bandzoogle.
Well, shout out to beacons.ai.
Beacons. Yeah. So, as an artist, eventually, even if you don't start one in the beginning, eventually you're going to think about starting a website. And if your name is OG or Charlie Pockets, you want to try and get that website that's just yourname.com, make it simple, something easy for your fans.
It's not just that. It's not just that. That's what you are. If you're an artist listening to this podcast, whether it be now or 5 years from now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's who you are. You are a business,
Definitely. And this applies not only for the independent artists, the new artists, it applies to artists in general. Like if your art is making, I don't know, cover arts, if your artist is being a producer like myself, so this applies on any type of business. And the reason we are making this podcast is thinking on the long term. Like you cannot think like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to figure out everything later. No, just go step by step, take a calendar, work your schedule, and have your time to do all the stuff that you need in order. Like while you're choosing your stage name, you're going to think about your branding, when you're going to make your PROs. So when you're going to make like all the paperwork for your to collect your royalties and submit a song, you need to have your stage name connected via AKA or alias, whatever you want to call it, register. Because if you're dropping on a song on your stage name and register on your own name, you will not receive the royalties because they don't know you are the same person.
You got to do stuff scared because that's the only way you're going to get over that. You know what I mean? That's the only way. And even if you feel like you're going to fail, okay, so what? Fail. Like, of course, like, like I make the music too, aside from, what everyone normally sees me doing. But for me, it was just more like a opportunity for me to put myself in y'all's driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know before I can, let me back up. Before I like to give help to people, I like to test things out so that when I talk about it, I know what I'm talking about, right? I don't ever want to just give information to people and not went through it myself or experienced it myself, right? And that even comes down to performing.
You want to talk about something, you have to lead by example.
Word. I mean, and I learned that from one of my mentors early on in the game. I remember asking him, I'm like, yo, like with so much that you have going on, like, how do you find time to just be so amazing for your people? And he was like, well, one, it's the passion. And two is, you know, I never give anything to the people without going through it myself. And, you know, it made sense. And this came from a very, very successful man. And then, I mean, when someone's that successful and they give you advice like that, you take it. Tim Ferriss is why I ended up hiring, and I work so great with my virtual assistants right now. When he got into the chapter and he talked about, you know, just time management and removing yourself from the process as much as possible, you know, that really resonated with me. I mean, at the time when I was reading it, I wasn't ready for it yet, so I never invested in it. But now that I'm like full-fledged investing in it, like I got a VA based out of Ohio.
Nice.
Ohio. Wait, is she? No, Lakeisha's not in Ohio. Lakeisha somewhere in Central Time, the Central Time Zone. And then I got Eliza, who's over in the Philippines. And you guys are probably, if you look in Discord, you see Eliza in there like every day, because one of her main jobs is to, you know, community engagement. You know what I mean? To come in there and talk to people and, you know, just get the day started and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yo, well, let's get into this bread and butter, man. I got two final questions for you, man. I hope you're ready.
Okay. All
so
right.
you know the bread and butter, you know what I'm saying? So you know we wrapping it up. I wanna ask you something, man. So look, you got three artists, right? You can make a song with Dead or Alive. I think I know one of the artists. You get to make three songs, or you get to make a song with three artists, Dead or Alive. Who are they?
DMX, you know that's a given.
Come on.
DMX, Tupac, and I'm gonna go with somebody and Nas.
First, Prince. Second, I would say Bob Marley. And last, let's pick somebody alive. I'm gonna go with my earlier option, Lauryn Hill for sure.
I have a glass for Terrace Martin. One of my dream people is Victoria Monet.
Definitely Mike Jones, because I grew up watching all of Mike Jones. Mike Jones, I would have to shoot him a music video. Snoop Dogg, of course, the big Snoop. You know what? Tupac. That'd be hard.
Wiz Khalifa, Kid Cudi, Big Sean.
Yeah. Maybe Drake, Yachty, and Look at Book would be wild.
First person would be Big Pun. Number two would be Mos Def, or now Yasin Bey, excuse me. And then number three, believe it or not, is Black Thought.
Busta Rhymes, Anita Baker.
Okay. Now we got to try it.
And Stevie Wonder.
I definitely want to make a song with Nipsey Hussle.
Nice.
I would want to definitely make a song with Rick Ross.
Okay. Ricky Rose.
And then unpopular opinion, but I need DJ Khaled on there.